go.
Sorry. What is up, y'all? Olivia Moody here. We have another episode of Pass the Spread, and I am joined by Mikey O'Ver yet again, Nick Yahl yet again. Can't get rid of these guys. They're here again. We've got some things to talk about. We had a very busy weekend in the Book It squad with the challenge. We were betting on the NFL. Let's recap our weekend bets. If you had to describe your weekend betting on the NFL in 5 words or less, what would it be? Mine, don't underestimate the GOATs. Mikey O'Ver, 5 words or less, how would you describe your betting on the NFL this weekend?
Nick Yahl is a fraud. That's all I'd like to say.
That's all. Nick, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm 24-6. That baby, number one. I'm back.
I'd also like to say that is well over the 5-word limit mark, but okay.
Hey, when you're number one, I get extra.
Okay.
Well over the 5-word limit mark.
Oh my God. So actually, Nick, it's interesting because when we saw the standings, you were number 2, but you went out of your way to clarify that the math was wrong to get moved to first place. Don't you think that's a little much?
We drew the challenge flag, no pun intended on that one, because intern Chuck was out yesterday. He was drinking. He was partying with his friends, as he should be able to do on a Sunday. But his math was incorrect, and that's okay. And so I was just politely correcting him, say, hey, there's no way that ticket was accurate on what show, a.k.a. David Bolasami, had to put in my head. My teaser, which absolutely smashed, call it cheeky, call it fraudulent, you can call it whatever you want. I don't care because I'm out here just making money. So no, the standings will be corrected today and I will be at the top.
Well, congratulations on being first place. However, I think you're the most boring bettor when it comes to NFL. You take zero risk. You just, the teaser thing, it's just like, come on, what are we in 4th grade? Like, pick it up a notch. Take a risk or two. You're boring. You're boring at betting. I had to say it.
Everyone can talk shit and say I'm boring all day long, but all I can say is who's number one right now? I'm number one.
This guy places one teaser where he teases everything up by like 7 points and is out here like number one. Sharp better, number one.
I had the under in that. I had the under in that Packers game. Teased the 7 points up to 58. What was the under? 57. If you don't tease, you lose. That's how playoffs go. Sharps know that. Vegas knows that. That is why you have to tease in the playoffs.
Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, moving on. So after this weekend of NFL, we have the Chiefs moving on and we have the Bucks moving on. Tom Brady is now taking another team to the Super Bowl. Like I said, don't underestimate the GOATs. We're seeing a pretty solid matchup of QBs happening in a couple weeks here. The line right now is -3 Kansas. I think it was -3.5 in a couple places, but for the most part, -3 in Kansas. So what do you guys think? I'll start with you, Nick. What do you think about this line and how did we come up with Kansas being favored by this amount of points, and where do you see this line moving to?
Yeah, the Chiefs are currently favored by -3, even though they're playing in Tampa Bay. Not really going to home field advantage isn't really going to be a thing there at the Super Bowl with Tom Brady. Kansas City hasn't played a real tough team. The Bills didn't really show up against them, and the Browns didn't really show up against the Chiefs. So right now you're going up against the greatest of all time, 6 Super Bowl rings. Tom Brady. Not only Tom Brady, more importantly, that Bucs defense. You have a banged up Patrick Mahomes. That Bucs defense is what we're going to be able to watch during that Super Bowl. That's going to be the matchup to watch. This line currently sit at 3. Watch this line get all the way down to a pick'em because tons of money coming in early in the week right now on Tampa Bay. Everyone's trying to get Tampa Bay +3. So if you are a Tampa Bay bettor, bet now. If you're a KC bettor, I would wait because this one's going to move down to a pick'em probably by Saturday or Sunday or early next week.
I think this is going to be a really exciting matchup to have these two teams go against each other because Patrick Mahomes, he's going to try to defend a back-to-back championship, and Tom Brady's going to try to regain his title as the champion. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Mikey O'Ver, what's your opinion on where the line sits right now and where it could potentially move to?
Yeah, no, I mean, after watching Pat Mahomes just go out there and, shout out to Young Thug, just had so much fun. Great album, but also describes exactly what Pat Mahomes did against the Bills. He just had fun out there. I mean, watching that game, you saw a relaxed kid that's been there before, and just, no offense to the Buffalo fans, he just had fun. It didn't look like he was trying that hard, to be totally honest with you. He was just having a great time, picking apart a good defense and making them look silly. And, everything that Nick just said was about everything they said the Bills were going to do to Patrick Mahomes. Great defense. Josh Allen's a leader on the field. And then, Pat Mahomes went out there, made them look silly, put up numbers. And that Chiefs defense absolutely shut down Josh Allen. They pressured him all night. I got the Chiefs, whatever spread, whatever money line, give it to me. I'm not teasing Chiefs to the crib. That is what I have to say.
Wow. All right. So fair enough. Mikey O'Ver. That's a mic drop right there. We're just going to
came out strong there, Liv. I'm hyped up right now.
I will say early preview. I am not teasing the Super Bowl for my last bet. I will give you that. I am not.
Somebody
record that. You could join us.
I won't be giving away, but my play is. But the has done the evaluation. We do have the pick, and we will not be teasing the Super Bowl.
Whoever gets this video in post needs to clip that and put that on Twitter and hold this man accountable. Because Nick Yahl is absolutely going to tease in the Super Bowl, and I know it.
He is.
I promise you I won't.
He is the Winnie Hunt Jr. of sports betting. Here we go. Moving on. Let's get into the NBA here. Let's get a little preview of the Silly Lay Show and the prop lock and drop it that will be coming later today. As you guys know, Mikey O'Ver and I, we love player props, and especially in the NBA, we just love NBA player props. So Mikey O'Ver, I'll let you go first on a little preview into the Silly Lay Show for you. What are some player props that you like today in the NBA?
Yeah, Liv, I pulled out a prop before on this show. And it was under similar circumstances, and I'm going to do it again. So I'm just prepping you this time because last time you were a little shocked at the prop. So, if you can read it, that's a Charlotte Hornets hat, and that means that LaMelo Ball is playing. But what you didn't know is that the Pelicans are also playing, which means a Ball Brothers over parlay is in play tonight. And if I have to quote the Silly Lay Show I already made today, I like it more than I like drinking pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. And that is my player prop play. It's a Ball Brothers over parlay. Come on. And you know it's an over.
Shocker.
Oh, my God. We got a super fan over here. I mean, for God's sake.
Man, no, it's like draft day when I put this hat on. I feel good.
So where's the line? Are you taking points, assists, rebounds? Where's the line at? And
if I'm taking points, when I got it, LaMelo Ball was at 10.5 and Lonzo was at 11.5. I really like those numbers, not just as a Ball Brothers fan, but I think those numbers are really attainable for this game going forward. And that's my silly lay. I'm not giving you one prop, Liv. I'm giving you a lay. Come on.
You are. That's good stuff. I mean, I should have known. I should have looked at the slate and known exactly what you were going to say for the Silly Lay Show, but whatever. For prop lock and drop it, I actually have quite a few that I'm pretty excited about, but I have a lay too. I'm going to throw a lay out there. I know.
Can I get the air horn? Can I get the air horn?
Oh.
Can I get the air horn?
Absolutely. So first,
Liv, I need the air horn.
You got the Ball Brother overlay with the Silly Lay Show. Yeah. And then I actually have a little bit of a same game parlay, which I have loved doing those lately. I like Colin Sexton over 21.5 points. He has hit this over in 4 of his last 6 matchups, and one of which that he didn't hit this over, he was on a time restriction. So I feel pretty good about this one. And then you've got Andre Drummond over 12.5 rebounds. He hit this 7 times this month. He's averaging about 14.5 rebounds right now. So that is my same game lay.
And Liv, let's give some credit where credit is due. I saw you hit an absolutely bonkers same game parlay the other day. And I want to give you credit, because it was a 3-legger and it absolutely smashed.
It it was KD over 27.5 points, James Harden over 9.5 assists, and it actually dropped to 8.5 assists. And then I also had Kyrie Irving over 2.5 made threes. I had to sweat that one out. I think he ended with 3 threes. So I was sweating that one out for most of the game. But yeah, I mean, now the pressure's on. Like people want to know what I'm picking, and they're assuming, I mean, they want it to hit. So
gotta deliver, otherwise you get chirped.
Some might say that Liv is as sharp as Gordon Ramsay's knife, but I'm just saying. Some might say.
I don't know who says that.
There's very, I was going to say, there's very few.
It might have been me. It might have been me.
I think it was. 76ers versus Pistons tonight. The 76ers actually struggled to cover the 7-point spread against the Pistons last game. They are only favored by 6 tonight. I know that we have a questionable Joel Embiid tonight with a back injury. And Mikey O'Ver, you were telling me a little bit about some other injuries that are kind of on the table. So let's start with you. What's the play here tonight?
Yeah, I saw Derrick Rose is out for today's game, and it worries me a little bit because, as I've told you before, Liv, I bet with my heart a lot of the times, and if there's a franchise that I just don't like, it's the 76ers. And I'm sorry to those from Philly, but, it's just not my cup of tea, as some might say. So in this game, I would love to take the Pistons. Derrick Rose being out makes you feel a little questionable. Joel Embiid being also questionable makes you feel a little better, but, I'm riding Jeremy Grant to the crib. I think the Pistons are going to cover, so that's my take.
I like it. Nick, what about you? Do you think the Pistons have a chance to cover tonight?
They didn't cover on Saturday night. And again, some questionable injuries in this one. I look at more of the scoring depth for Detroit than we have for the Philadelphia. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are your 2 leading scorers in Philadelphia, and you're working the offense through those 2 guys. And so Detroit's been able to keep games close against some really good teams, and the 76ers are one of those teams that are, surprisingly to me, one of the better teams in the league this year. I do have the futures bet out on them when Harden was looking at going to the Sixers. So, but I'm going to say the Pistons and agree with Mikey O'Ver in this one. I don't normally do that, agree with Mikey O'Ver, that is, but I will take the points with the Pistons to cover the 6.
Also, Liv, I just want to give a really hot take. I think Ben Simmons is garbage, but that's just besides the point. Liv, how do you feel about this matchup, though? Because 76ers, Pistons, it's a weird game.
Yeah, I like the Pistons to cover again. I do, and I think they may figure out how to win outright. Hot take.
We just formed a squad play on Pass the Spread, just so you guys know. That was very organic. It was very organic.
Book it squad play for tonight. # book it squad play. Detroit Pistons to cover by 6 against the Sixers. Cool. We also have the Mavs versus the Nuggets tonight. This is a rematch. They played each other earlier this season. The Mavs won. If you had to pick, and this may be a little bit of a, I may be hinting at something that I've got later in prop, lock, and drop it. But we have a rematch here. If you had to pick Luka or Jokic to get a triple-double tonight, who you got? Mikey O'Ver, let's start with you.
That's such a tough question, Liv, because both of them are playing, I feel like, close to what their primes are going to look like. And in this game, for some reason, I really like Luka getting the triple-double, but that's not to say I'm discounting Jokic getting a triple-double as well. I mean, if there was a prop that both of them will get a triple-double, I might play that, because this is a game where both of them are going to be used to nauseam against the other team on offense. And I think, this is one of those games, but if I had to flip a coin, I might go Luka in this game, to be honest with you, Liv.
Okay, so Luka, the last game, could have hit a triple-double. However, he was short on rebounds. I just want to give you a little bit of a preface here and say that Jokic is coming off of 22 rebounds against the Suns. The dude is an animal when it comes to getting the ball. So that may be Luka's downfall tonight. However,
that's a lot of rebounds.
Sure, it could go either way. Nick, your opinion, Luka or the Joker to get a triple-double tonight, who you got?
Yeah, you kind of hit on the point I was about to make is Luka and those rebounds. Past few games hasn't been really rebounding the ball. And the Nuggets have Michael Porter Jr. back, so I think they'll be able to spread that ball around a little bit more and really work that offense through Joker like they have been so far this season. Jamal Murray last year was kind of their guy. Now they're working it through Joker a little bit more. So I'm going to go with Joker here because he's a rebound machine. He'll get his points. You know, it's not too hard to hit the triple-double on points. It's really in those other areas. So you give me the rebounds and the points, and then maybe blocks and assists. He can get one of the other categories. So I'm going to go with Joker.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you brought up the MPJ coming back because we didn't have MPJ the last time that the Mavs and the Nuggets played each other, and Joker was short on assists. He was short on assists, getting a triple-double, and Luka was short on rebounds. I think now that we've got MPJ on the floor, that's just one more person for Joker to get the ball to. So I am taking the Joker here. Mikey O'Ver, hate to burst your bubble. That's 2 against 1, baby. So
hey, it's all right. We're good.
Yikes. But yeah, that's all we've got for today. We've got lots of NBA happening tonight, more NBA happening tomorrow. So we'll be back for another episode of Pass the Spread tomorrow. Deuces.